All right, today we're going to be looking at a video by a channel called Top Tier Man, and I absolutely think this guy is awesome, has a lot of good stuff. As always, though, he's missing the spiritual component, and that is why I'm here. So let's take a look at what he says and then fill in the spiritual gaps, showing you basically where what he's saying is scriptural, and the thing he probably has no idea some of the things that he's saying, but let's take a look and then we'll put the spiritual twist on it.
So today I'm going to explain to you what genuine burning desire is. What does it look like? How does it feel? And how to actually get a woman to the point where she has burning desire for you. Now, I want to address something. A lot of guys are going to tell you that genuine burning desire has to be natural. Meaning that if a woman doesn't have it for you within the first 5 seconds of meeting you, then it ain't real and she don't want you like that. Fellas, I'm going to tell you that's not true. And another thing I want to address is before I did say, I'm not going to lie, G. I did say that if a woman doesn't have burning desire for you, then you probably shouldn't be with her. Now, fellas, let me cross my T's and dot my I's. That statement was literally only for the guys who are on their purpose and you actually check all the boxes that woman wants as far as hypergamy. Because if that's the case and you've been with her for a while and she still don't have burning desire for you, fellas, it's not a line. That's not the woman for you and she don't want you like that. So that statement was not for the guys who still live with their parents and got Cheeto dust on their shirt. So if you're not there yet, don't take it personal. Because the truth of the matter about burning desire is a woman's desire for you, G. Whether that's initially, like I said, within the first 5 seconds, or whether that builds up over time or decreases over time. Her desire is only a mirror of your inner fire, your inner burning desire. Because if you don't have a desire, a hot, genuine burning desire for life and for your life, 9 times out of 10, she won't have it for you. Women follow your energy. Now, some of you guys have seen this before. All right, G, and this circle right here is you. All right, fellas, so what you need to have, G, I'm about to show you the game, all right? Because you can looks max, you can body game, G, you can do 100 push-ups every 5 minutes of the day, all right? And you can make a lot of money too, but that will not attract true desire from women. What women want and what makes women safe, which is, ironically, the lock and key to the cookie. All right, fellas, what makes women safe is you being sure about yourself. If you don't know who you are, don't expect her to be interested in finding out and learning and being more curious about who you are. All right, G? So you got to know yourself first. So this is you have to have this internal flame to where, one, you love yourself, you care about yourself, you're sure of yourself, and you're not carrying all this extra baggage, drama, trauma, confusion, and you're not scatterbrained and you're decisive. So like I said, G, everything I say today, don't take it personal. All right? Just take it.
Okay, so he's saying here that the same thing I've been trying to tell you, that scripture states that a woman mirrors a man. Okay, so her designed function, she was designed, her purpose was to exploit the man, to mirror the man, to show the man what he is, to exploit, to expose, to reveal him. That she mirrors the man, she mirrors his energy. Okay, so when a man does not have self-respect, when a man does not love himself, then why would she love you? Why would she respect you? Why would she have a genuine burning desire for you when you don't even think you're that great of a catch? I see these guys all the time like, oh, this is my better half. And oh, thank God, God gave me this woman because I'm nothing without her. That kind of crap. Why would she look at you as some sort of catch? Why would she have genuine burning desire for you when you look down on yourself and you don't even have any self-respect?
Inventory. Now, what is burning desire? Let's make this quick. I want you guys to think about a simp. And just think about all the shit a simp does. All the shit a simp can do when he wants a woman who doesn't want him. He'll buy gifts. He'll be extra available. He'll say shit that he normally wouldn't say on a normal day to a normal person. All right, G, he'll do things that he wouldn't normally do for himself, for that woman. That's an easy example of what it's like when you got a woman who has burning desire for you. She will do anything and everything to make you happy. All right, fellas. Now, this is the thing. Every woman is different. All right, fellas. Every single woman is different. So just because I said if a woman has genuine burning desire for you, that she'll cook your meals, that doesn't mean if you meet a woman and she don't cook your meals, that don't mean she don't like you like that. Sometimes that just means she don't know how to cook, or nobody ever taught her how to cook, or she don't know what you like yet, so she's hesitant to cook because she don't want to fuck up the food because she just got that much genuine burn desire for you that she don't want to piss you off. It's case by case. So one thing a lot of you guys got to stop doing is you got to stop taking everything you hear at face value. All right, fellas? Every woman is different. I'll give you an example. I've dated many women in my past. I've dated some women who love and know how to cook. So when they had genuine burn desire for me, gee, they'll cook me meals every goddamn day. And if they couldn't cook me meals, they'll DoorDash me food. Why? Because they took pride in the man eating. That was their way of showing love. I've also dated some women who were city girls and they made good money and they boss chicks, so their way of showing love was acts of service. So they never really cooked a lot, G, because they worked all the time, but they sure would buy me a new pair of Jordans every month. All right, fellas? Then I also had women who had no skills at all. All they had was ass. All right, fellas? It's her right here. No skills at all, G, but she had a lot to offer. All right, fellas, and that's how she showed. And this is the part when we talk about how women will be all up on you. I'm talking about touchy feely, always want to fuck. They always wet, G, when they got the burning desire. Every woman is not like that. Some of these bitches are exhausted with their damn job, so they ain't got time to fuck, but they can't buy you shit. All right, fellas, so you got to pay attention and be present. All right, fellas, something I want to jump to. Let me show you something, fellas. Most men are putting the cart before the horse, all right? I'm not gonna lie, G. You are not a simp, or you are not like blue pill for wanting a woman to love you, or for you loving a woman. This shit is natural. All you guys who don't like to pull chairs out and open doors, and some of you guys done got to the point where if you hug a woman, you say it's blue pill or it's beta. Gee, something really wrong with you dudes, all right? Ain't nothing wrong for loving and kissing on and caressing a woman, all right, fellas? But let me tell you this. Some of you
So there's nothing wrong with you desiring to have a woman love on you, want to be around you, want to be affectionate with you, want to all these things. There's nothing wrong with I like those things. I enjoy those things, but I'm not dependent on those things. Because if you're dependent on those things, you won't make the decisions you need to make that are better for your wife, that are better for your family. You won't make those decisions if you're dependent on the outcome. In other words, if she's not going to love on you, she's not going to, she's going to get mad at you, whatever. You have to be able to separate yourself from those things. Say, oh, yeah, I like those things, but I'm not dependent on it. It's okay if I don't get those things. It's okay if, for the sake to make the decisions that are better for your wife and your children, to make the right decisions sometimes means you're going to have to make them angry. You're going to have to piss them off. So, he's absolutely correct here in saying there's nothing wrong with enjoying the touch of a woman and the affection of a woman. Absolutely, absolutely, it's a wonderful thing. It just can't be what controls you. It cannot be why you do what you do.
guys put the cart before the horse, all right? Remember I said, this is you. This is your soul. You should have a burning desire about life. Gee, whatever it is. Gee, I don't give a
Really
fuck
don't.
if it's about art. You need to love yourself and know what you want in life and get to the point where you won't let anything, not even a woman, get in the way of that shit. But some of you guys put the cart before the horse. So what you do is you chase women. All right, fellas, I guarantee you there is no woman on this planet that will stay. She may be at the beginning, but will stay attracted to you if she feels that you want her or you love her or you like her more than she likes you. It can be mutual, that's fine. But if it gets to the point where she knows that you want her more than she wants you, and if push came to shove, she'll leave you before you left her, or if she did leave you, that will break your world, gee, it's over before it starts. All right, fellas, so some of you guys put the cart before the horse and you try to do
Okay, let's look at this. So in the relationship of man and God, does God love you more than you love him? No. Is God willing to give up his rulership, his authority? Is he willing to give up his livelihood for your sake? No, absolutely not. Is he going to compromise on his law because of you? No. Is he's not going to dismiss his respect and his authority for the sake of pleasing you. Never going to happen. We in the relationship with God is much like the woman in the relationship with the man, is that we as men are like, anything and everything for God. We will die for God. We'll give our life for God. We want to please him. We want to make him happy. We want him to say, "Well done, faithful servant." We want all those things. Okay? That is the way it's supposed to be. So, in the relationship with God, we're dependent on him. He's not dependent on us. So in a relationship where the man is dependent on the woman more than she is on him, where the man is dependent on her, she is going to lose interest and she's going to leave. She will go find a man who she can look up to.
All this stuff for a woman. You perform, you react, you bend at the knee at her will just to keep this desire or just to try to get it. It's not gonna happen like that, all right? Now, we already know that, but let me show you the biggest problem. Remember I said this is you, and this is what you need for real attraction that does not fade unless you fuck it up. A lot of you guys are like this. All right, fellas, you're not burning inside. Some of you guys, you got this ice cube inside, all right? You're real cold inside. And I'm not saying you're cold towards people, but you're cold towards yourself. All right? There's a thing I always talk about called energy, G, all right? And if you don't like yourself, don't expect a woman to like you. If you don't look in the mirror and fall in love with yourself every time you do, don't expect a woman to look at you and fall in love with you every time she look at you. All right, fellas, nobody wants to be around coldness. This flame represents warmth. All right, and that's the feeling you give off. Did I spell this?
So many men have such horrible self-esteem. The way they dress, they don't take care of themselves. They don't go to the gym. They don't wear nice clothes, nice shoes. They don't peacock. They don't take care of themselves, and they have no self-esteem. They have they basically have no self-esteem at all. And many men will say, "Well, it's because of my wife." No, it's not. No, it's not. You got to take care of yourself. If you make yourself a priority and taking care of yourself and looking good, smelling good, you do all those things, you have to have a genuine burning desire for yourself. You have to know that you are the shit. You have to know that you are God on earth, that you are a representative, an ambassador of him on earth, that you are God's appointed, anointed person to lead, correct, instruct, and reprove your wife and your children and the world around you. You were designed to create a world that mimics heaven here on earth. You should look in the mirror every day and say, "Wow, I'm powerful. I'm magnificent because I am a child of God, because I am from him." Your forefather Adam had the breath of God directly blown into his nostrils. Okay. And yet you're worshiping a created being, a woman who came from you. You're lifting her on a pedestal and making her God. Same thing happened in the garden. The woman's God was Satan. Man's God became the woman. He obeyed his wife. He did what she said. And the woman did what the serpent said. And we're still having the same problem today. Men have to overcome the woman, and woman has to overcome Satan. Okay. It's your job to realize who you are and to say, "Wow, I really am powerful. I really am that guy. I'm really him." You have to come to that understanding. That burning desire in yourself, for yourself, knowing that you are awesome and you're amazing, that she's she's going to pick up on that. You don't like yourself, she's not going to like you.
Right? That's the feeling you give off when people come close to you. Another word is aura. All right? You only get this when you have a burning desire for yourself. But if your energy is low, if your frequency is low, if your vibration is low, if your aura is low, And if you're cold because you don't like yourself and you got this pessimistic attitude about women, about the world, about politics, about life, you will not attract the things you want in your life, i.e., that woman. All right, fellas. So some of you guys are playing a zero-sum game. You're playing backwards. You're putting the cart before the horse, or you don't even know that you're in the goddamn game. Why?
A lot of men that I talk to are very jaded towards women. They have a very negative outlook on women, and they think, well, women are the problem, and I can't. Basically, that modern day women are the problem, and until they get fixed, until that problem is eradicated, there's no winning. There's because men are just lazy. They don't want to do the work. That's what it comes down to. Is men are lazy. They don't want to do the work. So it's easier for them to sit back and say, I'm not the problem. It's the women today. And they become very jaded and very negative in general. And that energy just spills out everywhere. I mean, it's aura.
Because you're numb. All right, fellas, you done OD'd on red pill content. You done been hurt too many times. Some alpha dude named Trey done took your girl too many goddamn times. So you're looking like a block of ice. All right, fellas, it's just imagery. It's metaphors. All right, fellas. The real desire is within. The question is not, what do I do to raise this woman attraction? It's, who am I? All right, you need to go from doing to.
I do find it interesting that he used the flame to show the idea of a man, and in scripture the word for man is Aish, is Aleph Yod Shin. It's fire with works, deeds, mind, will, emotion, whatever inside the fire. So man was designed to be a fire, and fire consumes. Fire can destroy, fire consumes, fire brings heat, fire brings warmth, fire brings the ability to eat, fire brings a lot of things. And the woman is the fire revealed. So it's very interesting that he said if you don't have that fire, that if you're cold, then the woman isn't going to be desiring you. And that it's interesting. He's speaking truth and not even understanding what he's saying here. But the man is supposed to be a fire. He's not supposed to be an ice block. He's not supposed to be feminine, which is water. He's supposed to be fire. And yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Being. All right, fellas, you don't have to do shit when you are that thing. Now, let me give you some practical stuff, G, all right? Let me show you how to spark this desire in a woman, all right? First thing I'm going to start with is a don't. G, do not try to control a woman's feelings, all right? Remember I said women, as well as their feelings, are like water, all right, G? And what you do with water is you let it flow. I think that's a song, G. Let that shit flow. All right, fellas, I'll give you an example. Let's say your girl got an attitude one day for no goddamn reason, all right? Normal day, right? Your girl got an attitude and you trying to figure out why. So you go, babe, what's wrong? Why the long face? And she say nothing. But when she say nothing, simultaneously she slamming doors, she throwing her hair back, she tooting her ass around, and you can tell that it's really something. Fellas, at that moment, after she told you nothing, it is out of your goddamn control. I know you feel like as a man, you gotta step in and start maneuvering shit. Why? Because as a man, your ending goal is the ending goal. You just want the shit to be done. But guess what, fellas? Water doesn't stop flowing. And if it does, the shit gets rotten. And then them bitches turn into the spawn of the devil. All right, fellas? So you gotta understand. And I say bitches out of love. But you gotta understand, fellas, it is not your job to control a woman's emotions. But it is your job to embody the version of the man who women can't leave. I'll give you an example of a man that women can.
Here again, he's using the feminine as water, which is absolutely totally scriptural, and that a man is the container. He is what contains the water, and the woman is the water that is inside that container. She takes on the form of the man, whatever that container looks like, the woman literally is consumed by the man. She becomes a part of the man, and she is molded and shaped into that container. That, again, the idea of the potter and the clay, that God is the potter and the man is the clay, and that man is the potter and the woman is the clay, and the man molds her and shapes her. And water is really good at finding cracks in the containers that it's in, and water will exploit. But water also has memory too, which is something we'll get into later. Water does retain memory, so it is absorbent, which means that it absorbs the energy from the things around it. So especially with a woman, we've talked about this, about the seed. When the man puts his seed in a woman, she absorbs it and it goes into her mind and organs. And there's a quantum entanglement that's going on there, but that's we've talked about that in other videos. But in essence, the assimilation of the woman assimilating to the man and becoming like the man, and the two becoming one. But it's primarily the woman taking on the being molded and shaped into the image of the man. But he is talking about the woman being like water, which I think is absolutely fascinating. If you think about a river, that the river banks guide the water, and it brings life to everything along the river. But when the water breaks containment out of the river, it brings death and destruction. It destroys crops, it destroys lives, it destroys buildings. When you saw what happened in Texas. So water is a very good analogy, and understanding that the man, if he is chaotic, if the man is overcome by her emotions, that water overflows the banks and brings death and destruction. But let's continue watching.
I was having this conversation earlier. So you know, you guys, when y'all actually get to the bed with a woman, if you ever get that far, but let's say you get that far, and y'all know this little test women do when they take all their clothes off but their bra and panties, and then they tell you to stop, and whole time you trying to figure out what the fuck. If you wanted me to stop, why the hell we get this far? All right, now there's 3 ways you can respond to this. All right, and these 3 ways are gonna determine her level of desire for you after this moment. Because sometimes, G, you can hit it that night if you respond well. All right, fellas? Let me help you understand something, G. Let me land this plane. One guy can get mad. All right, fellas, and he can put his clothes on and leave, or tell her to leave and be like, bitch, why you inviting me over anyway? All right? You can get mad. Now, you definitely ain't going to get it, all right? I'll give you another example. Another guy can be playful. All right, fellas, and laugh it off and be like, you know what? It's all good. All right, fellas. And then the last guy can be sure of himself. All right, this guy's grounded. He's present. He understands that he done got all the way to the bed, got all the way to the bra and panties, and now she telling him to stop. Ain't no way she's serious. All right, that's how sure he is. He's so sure that he'll actually agree. You know what? It's cool. We ain't got to have sex tonight, but we will one day. All right, he's sure of himself. And that level of clarity, fellas, that level of desire, and knowing that you're that guy is going to spark her interest. It's going to spark her curiosity. It's going to spark that primitive bone in her that says, this man knows himself. And whether I give it to him or not, he's good. But he's so sure of himself that he know he going to get it anyway, so he ain't sweating it. All right, fellas? That's what you call like the bad boy, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it these days, all right? All that bad boy shit, fellas, that's just you being confident and sure of yourself. How can you do this? You can't fake this shit, all right? Because even if you do what the fuck I just told you on number 3, that shit ain't gonna work. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. If you don't...
Okay, remember me saying that you can't fake? In the last video, I said you can't fake this stuff. That the why behind the what is the most important thing. Why you're doing what you're doing. Are you doing it to get in her pants? Are you doing it to get her to like you? Or are you doing it because your attention and your focus is on being a man of God? That's the energy he's talking about, is that you're not faking it till you make it. Your true genuine burning desire is to please God, and to do that at all cost. And that energy comes out in your relationship, that she sees that you are bound to a higher cause, and that your purpose and your whole reason for being here is guided by a higher power, and that you are on point. You're not going to move off point. You're going to do what you need to do. That's the energy he's talking about. It's not the energy of you trying to just game her to get in her pants, okay? And I know he's talking here about sleeping with women on dates. I'm not advocating for that at all. I don't think we can complain about women, modern day women, being whores if you're out there making whores out of them, okay? So if men controlled their penises and controlled their apparatuses, they controlled their things, then by default, women wouldn't have options to go and sleep around. Okay, so this is, again, it's a man problem. Men should not be out making whores and then complaining about them being whores. So this, all of this application, this all applies to the marriage. It all applies to your relationship with your wife. Absolutely 100%. And the kind of energy that you bring to the marriage is absolutely important. And that energy is that I'm here to please God. I'm here to do God's will and do his work. I am a small g God, and nothing's going to move me off of that.
Really believe you're that guy, she ain't really gonna believe you're that guy. If you really believe you're that guy, even if you're not that guy, there's a possible chance you can convince her as well. All right, fellas. So you gotta understand, energy don't lie. So you gotta have a real desire for life, a real desire for your purpose. This is how you get and retain women. You can shortcut the process to get some ass and maybe catch her slipping one day, but I don't recommend that, fellas, all right? The legal system is very complicated, all right? So just do it the right way, all right? The natural way. So the question is, why aren't most women giving you the level of intimacy, desire that you're seeking, right? Because like I said, as men, we can't lie, G. Most men are hopeless romantics, and we just want love at the end of the day. And ain't nothing wrong with that, G. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, the reason why you're not getting it is because you're putting the cart before the horse. All right, G? You're the horse. You're trying to drag you with the cart. What's the cart? Trying to be seen. Looks maxing when you have no depth. Ain't nothing wrong with looks maxing, G. Get some soul though, all right? Not focusing on yourself. Putting women before your purpose. Going on dates you can't afford. There's a plethora of things that you're putting before you. All right, G, if you don't like yourself, that woman ain't gonna like you. If you don't love yourself, that woman ain't gonna love you. Why does Pookie get it, but you don't? Because Pookie has this narcissistic level of sureness that he think he the shit. All right, Pookie be in his one-bedroom apartment with his air mattress, all right, getting all the hoes, while your ass made six figures and you get no pussy at all. There's a reason behind that, and it would be wise that you investigate this shit, all right, fellas? So I appreciate you guys
All right. So to make a long story short,
for tuning in
um,
today.
the thing is that you're not going to get the level of respect from a woman if you don't respect yourself. You're not going to get the love from a woman if you don't love yourself. You're not going to get anything out of her that you first don't have yourself. And the thing is, it's a saying that I like to use with men, specifically in raising children, but it also applies to the wife, that the man in scripture was the one who gave the inheritance. He passed on his inheritance. The thing is you can't give what you first don't possess. A man cannot give what he first does not possess. A man cannot give what he first does not possess. Okay? So your wife, if you don't have security in yourself, you can't give her security. If you don't have self-esteem in yourself, you can't give her self-esteem. She can't mirror anything that you don't have. Okay. So if her job is to reflect you, if her job is to reveal you to the world, she can't reveal something that you don't possess. So showing you could be the poorest man in the world, live in a one bedroom apartment with your wife, and she could absolutely adore you and love you to death based on the kind of man that you are. You hold it down, you emotionally have it together, you can't be manipulated, you have yourself disciplined, you're a disciplined man, you're a man of values, of a man of morals. a man who desires to be like God. And this whole idea that women are evil in the sense that they don't want, you know, they like they do like chaos to a certain degree, but that's for a whole nother video. The chaos comes for many different reasons, sometimes to feel your strength, sometimes to know that you care, sometimes, I mean, there's all kinds of different reasons. But at the end of the day, if you want your wife to reflect a strong man, then you have to be that strong man. And the genuine burning desire for you comes from a genuine burning desire that you have for yourself to be successful, to be a man of great value, a man of great um, morals and virtues, a man who's after God's heart. That's the kind of man that attracts women. Like I said before, God is the ultimate bad boy. You think about it. He could have totally destroyed humanity with the click of a finger. Like Thanos could have just destroyed humanity, brought it all to an end. But yet he's patient. Yet he works through man's incredible unattractiveness at times. Okay. This is the same thing that men do with women. When you get married, you are going to have to work with her to train her up and to create her into a spotless and blameless bride. And like I said, love is correction, instruction, and reproof. 2 Timothy 3:16. You need to go read the love chapter. I think it's 1 Corinthians 13. You need to go read the all the characteristics of love and replace that word love with correction, instruction, and reproof. So you as God in your relationship, or you as the king or the Lord in your relationship, you're going to have to show her love is patient, correction, instruction, reproof is patient, is kind, all those things. That's, we're getting way off task. But the end of the day, genuine burning desire comes from you having a genuine burning desire for yourself, meaning that you want to be like God. You want to be his representative on this earth, and you have a genuine burning desire to be that man. And it shows in everything, the decisions that you make, the way that you live, the things that you say, your lack of emotional, that's, she doesn't want you to put her on a pedestal. She doesn't want you to make her your God. Even if she tells you she does, she doesn't want you to put her on a pedestal. She's going to lose attraction to you if you put her on a pedestal. Her attraction to you is by you being, she was designed to be attracted to God. So the only way to keep that attraction is to be like him and keep her attraction. So I hope you find this video well. This guy's got a lot of great content. Top tier man, the top tier man, go check him out. He's got a lot of good stuff. And, the thing is that we can learn things from lots of different places. He says a lot of really good stuff that we can pack it in with scripture, and to be able to identify it even with scriptural things that he's saying. So I hope you find this video well, and we'll see you in the next one.